Hey, what's going on, everybody? Before we dive into this absolute chaos unfolding in Cleveland, I need your help for just a second. We're grinding hard to hit that 1,000 subscriber milestone, and every single one of you watching makes a massive difference. If you're getting value from these breakdowns, smash that subscribe button right now. Let's build something special together. Now let's get into it. The Browns just demolished the Dolphins 31-6. You'd think Cleveland would be celebrating right now. You'd expect the city to be buzzing with excitement after a dominant performance like that. Instead, the entire fan base is absolutely losing their minds with rage. Social media is on fire. The streets are furious, and it has nothing to do with losing, because they won convincingly. This is about something much deeper, something that's been festering all season long, and it finally reached a breaking point Sunday afternoon. Dillon and Gabriel just put up another embarrassing performance, and Browns fans have officially had enough. We're talking about a quarterback who threw 14 completions on 27 attempts for a pathetic 147 yards against one of the worst secondaries in football. 0 touchdowns through the air. His longest completion was 12 yards. 12 yards! Against a defense that was literally begging Cleveland to attack them deep. And the most frustrating part, Shedeur Sanders was standing on that sideline the entire game, helmet in hand, watching this disaster unfold, knowing he could change everything if they'd just give him the opportunity. Within minutes of that final whistle, Twitter exploded. I'm not talking about a few angry tweets here and there. I'm talking about a full-scale digital riot. One post went absolutely viral, racking up over 2 million views in 3 hours. 2 million views. It said, "We won despite Dillon Gabriel, not because of him. Start Shedeur now." That's not just frustration anymore. That's a fan base in complete rebellion against their own coaching staff. Another tweet that gained massive traction said, "Browns defense carried again. Gabriel is holding this team hostage. Play Shedeur now." The sentiment is everywhere. This isn't a minority opinion. This is the overwhelming majority of Cleveland fans demanding immediate change. Let me paint the picture of what actually happened during this game. Miami came in with a depleted secondary, injuries everywhere, backups playing significant snaps. This was the perfect opportunity for Cleveland to air it out, attack downfield, build confidence in the passing game. Instead, Gabriel spent the entire afternoon dumping the ball off to running backs and tight ends for 3-yard gains. He refused to push the ball vertically. Every single throw was safe, conservative, timid. There was one play that perfectly encapsulates the entire problem. Amari Cooper ran a go route down the sideline, beat his man clean, was waving his arms frantically because he was wide open for a touchdown. Gabriel never even looked his way, never even considered it. He checked it down to the running back for a 3-yard gain on 3rd and 8. Fans watching that play lost their minds. That clip is everywhere now. It's been turned into memes, reaction videos, compilations. People are calling it the ghost of Stefanski's playbook. Here's what makes this situation even more insane. Cleveland's defense played championship-level football. They held Miami to 6 points. 6 points. They were flying around, making plays, creating turnovers, giving the offense short fields repeatedly. And what did the offense do with those opportunities? They struggled to score 30 points against a practice squad secondary. Think about that disconnect. Your defense is executing at an elite level, doing everything possible to set up the offense for success, and the quarterback can barely move the ball against one of the league's worst defenses. That's not a recipe for playoff success. That's a recipe for disaster when you face real competition. The advanced analytics tell an even more damning story. Gabriel's completion percentage over expectation is negative 8.2%. That means he's completing passes at a rate significantly below what the average NFL quarterback would complete given the same circumstances. His average depth of target is the lowest among qualified starters in the entire league. He's literally throwing shorter passes than any other starting quarterback. His big-time throw percentage is bottom 3 league-wide. Every single metric you can look at suggests the same thing. This is not a quarterback capable of leading a championship offense. Meanwhile, Shedeur's college metrics showed elite anticipation, aggressive downfield attacking, the ability to make clutch throws under pressure. The statistical gap between these two quarterbacks is massive. There's no debate here when you actually look at the numbers objectively. But it gets worse. Sources inside the organization are now saying there's serious tension building in the locker room. Multiple veterans are privately expressing frustration about the quarterback situation. One offensive lineman allegedly told people close to him, "We win big, but Shedeur never gets a chance." Come on, man. Think about what that means. The guys blocking for Gabriel, the guys whose job is to protect him and help him succeed, even they know something's wrong. Another veteran supposedly told teammates, "Defense playing lights out, Gabriel playing scared. Something's got to give." These aren't just random fans on Twitter complaining. These are professional football players inside the building questioning the decisions being made. The defensive players are especially frustrated, and you can understand why. They're out there laying their bodies on the line, executing perfect game plans, shutting down opposing offenses completely. Then they have to sit on the sideline and watch the offense squander every opportunity through conservative play calling and quarterback hesitation. One defensive back reportedly told friends, "We hold them to 6 points and the offense barely scores 30 against a practice squad secondary. That's embarrassing." That's the reality right now in Cleveland. One side of the ball is championship caliber. The other side is being held back by questionable quarterback play. Monday morning, the national media went absolutely nuclear on this situation. First Take dedicated a massive segment to it. Shannon Sharp didn't hold back at all. He said, "You got Shedeur Sanders sitting there. The kid's got leadership, accuracy, swag, and you're forcing Dillon Gabriel down people's throats like he's prime Brady. Stop it. This is coaching ego at its finest." Stephen A. Smith agreed completely, saying Cleveland's defense is championship caliber, but their quarterback situation is an absolute disaster. Over on Undisputed, Skip Bayless went even further, questioning whether Stefanski's stubbornness might actually cost him his job. He said, "Kevin's stubborn loyalty toward Gabriel will cost him everything. Fans demanding change, players wanting change. Only person refusing reality is the head coach." Even the local Cleveland media, who are usually pretty diplomatic about this stuff, are starting to turn. Reporters who typically give the organization the benefit of the doubt are now openly questioning the quarterback evaluation process. They're suggesting there might be deeper organizational problems beyond just a simple competition. When you lose the local media, when the people who are around the team every single day start questioning your decisions publicly, that's when you know the pressure is reaching critical levels. The social media movement has reached unprecedented levels. Free Shedeur trended nationally Sunday night with over 500,000 tweets in just a few hours. Fire Stefanski joined the trending topics right alongside it. Cleveland fans are creating side-by-side comparison videos showing Shedeur's college highlights next to Gabriel's NFL lowlights. The visual contrast is absolutely stark. You see Shedeur throwing absolute lasers, perfect touch passes, creating explosive plays effortlessly. Then you see Gabriel with his checkdowns, his hesitation, his conservative panic in the pocket. Fan pages have organized what they're calling virtual protests. Graphic designers are creating mock depth charts with Shedeur at the top. Video editors are putting Shedeur's face on Brown's uniforms, imagining an alternate reality where the right quarterback actually starts. Podcasters across the country are dedicating emergency episodes to analyzing what's happening in Cleveland. One popular Browns podcast titled their latest episode, "We're Wasting a Championship Defense on Backup Quality Quarterbacking." Another one simply called it, "The Shedeur Sanders Hostage Situation Continues." Reddit is going absolutely insane. There are entire threads dedicated to dissecting every single Gabriel throw, identifying missed opportunities, calculating expected points lost through conservative decision-making. The analytics community is presenting absolutely damning evidence. Every advanced metric you can imagine points to the same conclusion. Gabriel isn't getting it done, and there's a significantly better option sitting on the bench. Through all this absolute chaos, Shedeur Sanders has remained remarkably composed. He hasn't tweeted anything controversial, he hasn't complained to the media, he hasn't created any drama or lobbied publicly for playing time. He's simply prepared professionally, supported his teammates, and maintained incredible poise despite circumstances that would drive most young players crazy. Sources close to the situation describe his mentality as unshakable. He apparently tells people, "I'm not worried. I know my time is coming. Every week Gabriel struggles, my case gets stronger." That's not arrogance. That's confidence born from preparation. Shedeur understands football reality. The truth eventually surfaces regardless of coaching stubbornness. His presence on the sideline speaks volumes to everyone watching. You can see him analyzing defensive coverages during the game, mentally processing situations, preparing for his inevitable opportunity. Teammates notice this. They see the preparation, the intensity, the leadership qualities, the competitive fire burning inside him. Several offensive players have allegedly mentioned privately that they think he's ready. They all know it. The coaches know it deep down. Everyone except Stefanski seems willing to admit the reality. Consider the broader implications of what's happening here. Cleveland has constructed a championship caliber roster. They've got an elite defense, explosive offensive weapons, a strong offensive line, excellent special teams. Every single ingredient is present except one thing: competent quarterback play. They're winning games right now through defensive dominance, opponent mistakes, and superior depth. But playoff football is completely different. When you face elite competition, you need offensive firepower. You need explosive play capability. You need a quarterback willing to attack aggressively and take calculated risks. Gabriel's conservative approach will not survive postseason intensity. It just won't. Divisional opponents are watching this situation and smiling. The Ravens, Bengals, and Steelers all recognize Cleveland's offensive limitations. They understand Gabriel's tendencies. They're preparing defensive schemes specifically designed to exploit his hesitations. They're studying film thinking the exact same thing. We can load the box, force Gabriel to throw deep, and watch him panic. That's a catastrophic strategic disadvantage heading into crucial divisional games down the stretch. You might think this gets resolved quickly, but don't assume anything straightforward here. Stefanski's stubbornness is legendary. Despite the overwhelming evidence, despite fan demands, despite media pressure, he's actually doubling down publicly. In his post-game press conference, he defended Gabriel extensively. He said, "Dillon managed the game excellently. We won convincingly. That's what matters." When reporters pressed him about fans demanding Shedeur Sanders, his response was dismissive. He said, "We're 8-3 winning football games. We're not changing quarterbacks based on social media noise." That response was like pouring gasoline on a fire. Fans interpreted it as a disrespectful dismissal of legitimate concerns. The comments that followed were brutal. People were saying Stefanski's arrogance is going to destroy everything they've built. Others said he's protecting his draft choice over team success, calling it pathetic. The trust between the coaching staff and the fan base is eroding rapidly. Every Gabriel incompletion now gets scrutinized microscopically. Every conservative decision gets questioned aggressively. Every missed opportunity gets amplified dramatically through social media. Meanwhile, Shedeur's mythical status keeps growing exponentially through his inactivity. He's becoming a symbol. He represents organizational competence, modern quarterback excellence, the winning culture that Cleveland desperately craves. This has transcended being just a quarterback controversy. This is now a complete cultural referendum on the Cleveland Browns organization. They're positioned perfectly with an elite defense, a loaded offense, a manageable schedule. Everything is aligned except coaching. Stubbornness is preventing the optimal quarterback from playing. Fans are watching their championship window potentially get wasted through organizational pride and refusal to admit a mistake was made. That's what's driving people absolutely insane right now. Think about what Cleveland fans are experiencing emotionally. They finally have a roster good enough to compete for a championship. After decades of dysfunction, horrible quarterback play, embarrassing losses, and becoming the punchline of NFL jokes, they finally have something real to believe in. The defense is dominant, the weapons are explosive, the pieces are there, but they're being forced to watch as the most important position on the field is being mismanaged in real time. That's torture for a fan base that suffered as much as Cleveland has over the years. The pressure on Stefanski is mounting to impossible levels. Every single week this continues, the noise gets louder, the demands get more aggressive, the patience wears thinner. Fans aren't requesting politely anymore. They're demanding furiously. They want Shedeur Sanders starting immediately. They want to see what this offense can actually become with a quarterback willing to push the ball downfield and attack defenses aggressively. They want to maximize their championship window while it's still open. Here's the reality that Cleveland fans understand better than anyone. The NFL is an incredibly difficult league where championship windows close rapidly and unexpectedly. Injuries happen, players decline, contracts become unmovable, rosters fall apart. You cannot waste opportunities when they present themselves. Right now, the Browns have an opportunity. They have the roster, the schedule, the momentum. What they don't have is optimal quarterback play, and every week that passes with Gabriel under center instead of Shedeur is a week. They're not maximizing their potential. The Browns defeated Miami convincingly. The defense dominated completely. Special teams executed flawlessly. Yet Cleveland fans left that stadium frustrated, angry, and demanding change. Because victories mean nothing when you know superior talent is sitting helplessly on the sideline watching inferior quarterbacks squander championship opportunities. The scoreboard declared the Browns winners, but fans know a different truth. They're winning despite Dillon Gabriel, not because of him. And until Shedeur Sanders finally starts, Cleveland understands the painful reality. They're just postponing the inevitable while wasting precious time. Every week, Stefanski delays this decision. The noise intensifies. The pressure builds. The frustration compounds. Fans have moved past requesting. They're demanding furiously now. The clock is ticking on this championship window. Patience has been completely exhausted. The window is closing rapidly with every passing week. Time is up, Kevin. Everyone sees the truth except you. The question now isn't if Shedeur Sanders will start. The question is whether the change happens soon enough to salvage this season and maximize what could be a genuine championship opportunity. Cleveland is watching, waiting, demanding, and they won't stop until they get what they know is right. Start Shedeur Sanders. It's that simple.